Mom carved the Thanksgiving turkey and smiled. Thanks to your miscarriage, our family line remains. Thanksgiving was always a grand affair in our family. A long table stretched across the dining room, covered with my mother's finest linen, fine china gleaming under the chandelier. The air was thick with the aroma of roasted turkey, buttery, mashed potatoes, and spiced pumpkin pie. But this year, the air carried something else, a tension so sharp it could slice through the warmest of traditions. I had barely taken a bite when Mom's voice rang through the room, clear and cruel. She carved the turkey with a practiced hand and then turned toward me with a smile that sent chills down my spine. Thanks to your miscarriage, our family line remains pure. The knife in her hand gleamed under the light as she passed a perfectly cut slice onto my sister's plate. The room erupted into laughter. Uncles, aunts, cousins, faces contorted in twisted amusement. My sister, Melanie, smirked as she patted her son's head. "One real grandchild is enough, don't you think?" she said, her voice laced with mockery. I swallowed hard, setting my fork down as a lump formed in my throat. My hands trembled beneath the table, curling into fists. My husband, Daniel, squeezed my hand under the table, but I barely felt it. The air felt suffocating, the walls closing in on me. They had always treated me differently. Ever since childhood, I had been the black sheep, the unwanted, the overlooked. When I married Daniel, they barely acknowledged our union, and when I had announced my pregnancy, their joy had been non-existent. And then came the miscarriage. A cruel twist of fate, a pain so deep that even words failed me. But my family saw it as something else. Relief. A correction of a mistake. Their laughter echoed in my ears, a cruel reminder of where I stood in their eyes. My existence was tolerated but never cherished. I stood up, the chair scraping against the polished floor. The laughter died down slightly, a few people glancing at me in mild curiosity. "I need some air," I murmured, my voice calm. Too calm. I walked toward the kitchen, my heart pounding. Each step felt heavier, the weight of betrayal pressing down on my shoulders. But I wasn't sad anymore. No, sadness had left me long ago. I was something else now. A cold, simmering rage had taken its place, and they had no idea what was coming. The dinner continued. Drinks poured freely. Laughter resumed, as if nothing had happened. My absence wasn't even noted. Not yet. I moved quietly, swiftly. Years of being ignored had its benefits. I knew every corner of this house, every hidden creak in the floorboards, every locked drawer, and where Mom kept the keys. By the time I returned to the dining room, I carried with me something special. A vintage wine bottle, one that had been sitting in Mom's collection for years, aged to perfection, dust coating its elegant glass body. I held it up with a smile. "Let's make a toast," I said, my voice even, pleasant. The room turned toward me, slightly surprised by my sudden enthusiasm, but no one questioned it. After all, I was just the forgotten daughter, the disappointing sister. What harm could I possibly do? The cork popped open, and I poured the deep crimson liquid into each glass, my movements smooth and careful. I made sure everyone had their fair share. Mom raised her glass first. "To family," she said smugly, eyes glinting. "To family," they all echoed. Glasses clinked, lips met rims, gulps were taken, and then silence. One by one, their faces twisted in confusion. Their breaths grew shallow. Their hands trembled. My sister was the first to drop her glass. It shattered, deep red staining the tablecloth like fresh blood. "What?" Mom gasped, her fingers clutching at her throat. I watched, my heart steady, my expression unreadable. Panic spread across their faces like wildfire. "You see?" I said softly, my voice barely above a whisper. "You should have been more careful about who you laughed at. Bodies convulsed, chairs toppled. The once lively dining room now filled with gasps and choked screams. I stepped back, watching the family who had never truly seen me finally look in my direction. But this time, there was no laughter, just fear as I walked out of the house. The cold November air hit my skin. The last family gathering had come to an end, and for the first time in my life, I felt truly free. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to support the channel. More thrilling, spine-chilling stories are coming soon. Stay tuned, and let's keep the suspense alive.